वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु ji ki fateh. Today's walk is by Guru Arjan Sahib ji. The rahau is Sahib mera neet nawa, sada sada da tar rahau. The theme of this Shabad is God is always fresh, always new, and God will always give. Today, when we look at America, the divorce rate is about 50%. And I had a teacher once who was with his wife for 12 years. And in the American society, this is a rare thing nowadays. And he told us students the secret to love. He said that the secret to love is to always keep the love new. When divorces happen, a lot of the times the couple just feels like their love is old, the spark is gone, that passion is gone. Everything is stale now. And my teacher told us that whenever he gets a chance, he just stays far and watches his wife doing whatever she likes. And he said that if you keep love new, then that love never breaks. It never gets old or raggedy. But the problem is sometimes human love tends to get old. It irritates us. But God is such a lover that you fall in love anew over and over again. Even after loving God for many, many years and lifetimes, it still has the magic of a new, beautiful, young love, a young relationship. The first line of this Shabad is, Jio darat hai apana, kaisyon kari pukar. Jio, my inside, my soul is scared. Fear. Jio darat hai apana, kaisyon kari pukar. Who can I tell? If you're afraid, you want to go to someone fearless, someone who can protect you. But who has that power? Guru Sahib says, Jin nirpo, jin har nirpo tyaya ji, tinko po sab gawasi. God is nirpo, without fear, and those who meditate on God, they too become fearless. Guru Sahib ji also tells us that Dariye je dar hove hor, dar dar darna man ka sor. You should only have fear if you fear something other than God. But the biggest fear is the mind's fear. The mind is afraid of fear, and it lives in fear. And for that reason, the mind is always, it's pressured under this fear. It's afraid. It's in slavery. So Guru Sahib Ji is telling us, I am afraid. There's one thing to be afraid of. What makes us afraid? Har vekhe sune nit sab kich meri jindariye, so dare jin paap kamate Ram. Paap kamate Ram. That person alone should be scared who sins. But if you don't sin, then why should you fear? So Guru Sahib says, my soul trembles. So what to do? If your soul trembles, who do you complain to? Dukh visaran sevya, sada sada datar. Dukh visaran. The one who's so amazing, so great, that when I go near him, when I go near God, who's formless, not a him or her, I forget my pain. Vaheguru, I forget all my pain. E man mereya tu sada raho har nale, har na raho tu man mere, dukh sab visarna. Oh my mind, always live with God. Live with God, my mind. You'll forget your pain. Dukh visaran seviye. I serve the Lord. And what's service to the Lord? It's basically surrenderance to the Lord. Sada sada datar. Datar ek. Vaiguru is the datar, the giver forever. All of us are beggars. No one can give anyone else anything because everything came from God and everything will go back to God. We are going to die one day. What's ours? What do we take with us? Even this body which we think is ours stays here. So God alone is the one who can give. And when we ask from God, then we don't ever have to bow to anyone else. There's a very interesting story. During King Akbar's lifetime, there was a saint, and this saint would always pray to God, and Akbar the king respected him. Akbar the king would go to the saint. Now in India, if you go to someone, it means that person is greater and you are less. So the king himself would go to the saint, meaning the king would give the saint respect greater than himself by going to him. And the king would always say, if you ever have any problems, saint, come to me. And one day there was a small problem, and the saint thought, let me go to the king and ask him something. It was a minor thing in the village. So the saint goes, and when he goes to King Akbar's palace, he sees King Akbar in the middle of his prayer, and King Akbar is asking God, God, please bless me with health. God, please bless me with a great kingdom. God, please bless my troops so that they are victorious in the battlefield. And the saint then got embarrassed and turned. But the king saw him, and the king said, why are you leaving the one day you come? The saint said, I made a mistake. The king goes, you made a mistake? The saint goes, yes, I came here by mistake. The king says, if it was a regular house, I could imagine that. But this is the castle. How did you come here by mistake? And the saint says, O king, I came to you to ask you for something. But when I saw that you yourself were asking of the Lord, I realized that why can't I just ask of God too? Why am I becoming a beggar's beggar? We are all beggars, and God is the eternal giver. Sahib mera neet nawa. My God is always new, always fresh. Sada 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 datar rahao, always the giver. So why go anywhere else? The person who's the son of the king, who's the child of the king, doesn't it look stupid that he goes to a security guard and says, get my work done? Each one of us has a right to ask of God. Jo mange thakure apne te soi soi deve. Andin Sahib seviye, ant shadaye soe. Day and night I serve God. Why? Because I know when I die and there's no one else, God will be with me. In the end, sun sun mere kamani, listen my soul, par utara hoy. By listening over and over and over again, by attaching myself to the Naam, to God, by that way, this world which is so full of vice, I have crossed it over and come to God. Deyal tere naam tara. God is a giver, but He's not egoistic. He never holds it on our head that I did a favor for you. Like we humans do. We think we did a favor for someone, we own that person now. But God is Deyal, compassionate, loving. God always does. He sees our sins, but He doesn't stop doing for us. Deyal, O compassionate Lord, Tere Naam Tara, meditation on your Naam, your loving meditation carries me across. Your loving meditation takes me across from this world that I'm trapped in, and it leads me to you. Sad kurbane jao raha, kurbane. The word kurbane means sacrifice. Over and over again, I sacrifice myself to you. Now one must note, this is a rahau, not a rahau duja. So it's a separate theme of this Shabad. The first theme is Sahib Mera Neet Nama Sada Sada Da Tar Rahao, and the second Rahao is Sad Kurbane Jao. I always fall at your feet. I over and over again give myself up to you. I lose myself in you over and over again. Now, if this had a Rahao Duja, then the first Rahao would most likely be a question, and the Rahao Duja would be the answer. But since this is just Rahao and not Rahao Duja, this is a separate underline. So Guru Sahib has two things underlined for us in this Shabad. Sarvang Sacha Ek Hai, Duja Nahi Koi. There's only one God. Who else should I go to? Duja Nahi Koi. There's no one else. God, I only see you. I am yours alone. Taki seva ko so kare. Taki seva so kare. Ja ko nadar kare. Those who give themselves up to God, those who serve God, they don't do it out of their own accord, out of their own strength, but Jako Nadar Kare, those people who God smiles upon, they are the lucky ones that get to live in God's service. Everyone else serves the Maya, the universe, and they get lost. But those who God smiles on, they serve God. Tuj Baj Pyare Kev Raha. Oh, beautiful God, how can I ever live without you? Sa vadiyai de, give me this greatness. What type of greatness do people want? They want greatness with money, with fame. But Guruji is saying, give me this one greatness. Sa vadiyai de, jit naam tere lag raha. Give me such greatness that I could always remember your naam and be attached to it forever. Duja nahi koe jis aage pyare jai kahan raha. Wow, this is a third theme in this Shabad, a third underline, a third Rahal. There's no one else, God, who I would think of, who I can go for. You alone, God, can give greatness. Why should I beg in front of anyone else, Lord? You gave me everything. Even when I was in my mother's womb, you provided for me. And today you provide for me. And tomorrow, when I die, even then you will be with me. So where else should I go to? Even when we're sick and nothing else can reach us, people can comfort us from outside, but who can go inside and take care of our pains? It is only God's meditation, God's Naam, that can reach us where no one else could. So why go to someone else? Duja nahi koi jis aage pyare jai kahan rahao. Third pause in this Shabad. Sevi Sahib apna avar na jacho koi. I only serve my Lord. I would never ever beg from anyone else. I would never be at anyone else's feet. Sevi Sahib apna avar na jacho koi. Nanak tanka das hai. Guru Nanak says, I am a servant. Bind bind chuk chuk hoy. And every second, every bit, I cut my body apart. These are words of love. Guru Nanak Dev Ji loves God so much. Guruji says, I fall at your feet. I cut myself apart and offer myself to you. These are poetic words. Guru Sahib never took a knife and cut his body. Guru Sahib Ji says, I break my heart for you into pieces. I break my soul and give it to you, God. Over and over again, this is the speech of love. When you love someone and you melt in front of them. Nanak tanka das hai, bind bind chuk chuk. Bind bind chuk chuk, bit by bit hoy. Sahib tere naam vitto. O Lord, in front of the naam, bind bind chuk chuk hoy rahao. 4 rahaos in one Shabad, wow. So we got some major lessons here by Guru Sahib. Guru Sahib Ji says in this last line, O my master, upon your naam, I love it so much that every bit of me melts in front of it. Every bit of me falls. I grow weak inside. Your Nam is so powerful that your love just comes as a brilliance and it makes me fall weak at the knees. And this here too is the fourth Rahau in this one Shabad. So here Guru Sahib Ji says four main things we should always remember. One, God is always, always fresh, new. God will always give. The second thing, God's compassionate Naam takes us to God. And we should always fall at the feet of that Naam, always lose ourselves in it. Thing number three, there's no one besides God. There's no other shelter for us. There's no one else we should give ourselves to. And thing number four, God is so wonderful, so great, so brilliant that when God comes, we just melt in front of his brilliance. We lose ourselves completely. So this is Guru Sahib. Guru Sahib is talking about his own heart, but we should follow this teachings for our heart as well. Remember today that don't be afraid of anyone. Don't ever let anyone pounce upon you and live in one fear, the fear of God alone. In front of God melt, that's a measure of a person. One who can stand tall in the face of tyranny, and one who can fall flat at the feet of God. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.